Guys and girls, it's know it time! Hey, let's get crack-lacking! It's know it time! Know it time!
So today, I'm going to show you properties of sine slash cos graph. So this is just basic properties. In grade 10, your teacher first introduced you this concept of sine and cos. So let's draw a triangle. I want to see who remembers all this stuff from grade 10. Let's test your skill out right now. This angle is theta. This is 5. And this, I'm going to give you a random number of 10. Without my help, using grade 10 knowledge, find theta. I want to see who remembers. I'm going to pause it, walk around, and look at this one. I know that I'm solving for angle, so I know I'm going to label this side. This side is my A. This side is my H. So right off the bat, I'm going to use that. A lot of you say, Mr. is actually cos theta equals to 5 over root root 10. 5 over 10. So a lot of you punch in 5 over 10 and you get 0.5. So is my answer 0.5 then? Tajvir, well, what do you got to do? One more thing. See, you're looking for an angle, so you got to use that second function cosine. Grab your calculator right now. Let's use second function cosine. Yep. So you go, see, if I'm looking for an angle, I got to use second function cosine. Second function. So go second cos 0.5 and bracket equals, I have 1.04. But some of you say, must know that's wrong. Because why? See, your calculator, now I'm going to explain to you why your calculator, if you go to mode right now in your calculator, hit mode. Mode. Right there, mode. See, notice one thing. My calculator is set in radians. So it's 1.04 radians. But really, sometimes I don't want to work with radians. I want to go set to degrees right now. Your calculators will be in degrees for today. So go to mode, set it to degrees right now. Hit enter. I was in our degrees. See, 1.04 is actually radians. But this is why on your calculator, some of you said that RD and a G. That's what that stands for. One is degree radian. So let's try this again one more time. Cos. So be 60. Question, Labrad. You could. Cos 5 divided by 10 is 0.5. Yeah. So the answer is 60. So theta, notice it's 60 degrees. But when I did it in radians, I have 1.04 rads. So it is crucial that your calculator is set to the right setting. Otherwise, you get this wrong. If I want degrees, set it to degrees.
Don't you want rads?
Sorry?
Don't you want rads?
No, not yet. That rads is for once you get the idea of degrees, we're going to focus more on rads. So guys, gals, see, this is what you did in grade 10, and you learned the concept of sine and cos. But the question is, what does the graph look like? What does a sine graph look like? Because every one of you know sine as cos as something over something, but in reality, there's actually a formula. There's actually a nice graph for it. So I'm going to write down the equation. Y equals to sine x. Y equals to sine x. I can ask you to create a table of values, plot the points, but that's going to be a lot of time consuming. So let's grab your calculator right now. I'm going to show you some settings you're going to work with first. If I look at my quadrant, it always goes from 0 to 360 standard before that's one full circle. So when you set your, go to Windows right now, set your X-min to 0. Correct, set to 0. Okay. Set your X-max, because I think it was a circle, it goes to 360 for now. Set your X-max as 360. Y min, I'm going to tell you what it is. So set it to -2. There's the reason why. -2. Y max, set it to 2. Make sure you are in degrees, because I'm working with 360 right now. I want you to enter in Y1. It's going to be sine X. Go ahead, hit sine X. Sine X. Now, some of you ask me, so where's the X button? X is right here. Hit enter and hit graph. And if I forgot to clear my other things. Oh, it does the same thing? Oh, I don't know why there's that there. Because because what it is you are a scatter plot. Remember that stuff you did on your test? It's still there. So technically, imagine there's no dots. Look at the shape of it. It's a nice little curve. So let's draw the curve right now, guys. So we're gonna show you a sine graph. Sorry? Invalid. The reason why is you go to Y1. You up here, this thing should not be highlighted if you have invalid dimensions. Okay? So let's draw the graph right now, and I'm going to show you sine graph. Show you some vocabs today. I'm going to trace what I have. Notice it starts from this line. It goes all the way up, all the way down, and all the way up to the mid, back to where it started again. So it'll go something like this. Up, 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 up. It forms like a complete circle if I join the two pieces together. That's why I go from 0 to 360. A sine graph, I want you to take your cursor, go to the highest point right now, and tell me what the y value is. It looks like it's going to be around 1. So we're going to put 1 here. I will take your cursor, go to the lowest point possible. You get -1. The reason I use 2 and -2 because I want to see that stuff. Now, this here is going to be 0. Take your cursor, move it all the way to the end, and see what that x value is, because I want to label the x value right now. So take your cursor, and just move it all the way to the right. It should show you 360. Okay, all the way to the right. And if you move it here, it should say this is 360. So now, I'm going to show you one more trick. Very sharp eyes. See, a sine graph is very symmetrical. Everything about it is symmetrical. This is 0. This is 360. I want you guys to label the middle piece now. Everything is symmetrical in all of these graphs. There's no tricks behind this. Carla, what's the middle going to be? 180. Guys, gals, we're not done yet. I want you to label the middle of the middle. And I want you to label this also. 90 and 270. So those are your key points right now. What you just created is a sine graph. But I have to show you more vocabularies. My first one, A. The first vocab, I'm going to show you something called amplitude. So amplitude, again, today there's a lot of vocabs because you got to understand vocabs first before you do the problems. Amplitude is the distance from midline to highest or lowest point. Okay. The distance from the midline to highest or lowest point. No, that's gonna be, I'll show you. The key thing, amplitude cannot be negative. Crucial. Okay? Because when I'm talking about distance, I can't go negative distance. So guys, I'm going to show you what a midline is. A midline is a line that divides your graph in half horizontally. So the right here, I want you to highlight this line right now. Use another color pen or highlight it. This is called your midline. Midline. Okay. This is physics. If you've taken physics 11 and you study properties of a wave, So the amplitude is really the distance from here to here. This is called your amplitude. Amp. And in this case, amplitude is now read, what's your amplitude? Yeah, well, what's the distance going to be? 1. Amplitude is 1. Guys, this is my first vocab. Midline is right here. It's the line, it's a horizontal line that divides your graph in half. So let's write this down, midline. All these vocabs will be used again. The line that, I should say the horizontal line. Horizontal line. No, it's not always. I'm going to give you one later. That divides the graph in half. So far I learned amplitude, midline. The most important word you can learn right now is going to be, which is the toughest one, period. A lot of people can't do this. And period is this. It means how long it takes for one cycle. Okay? Which means from start to finish, how long is it? I start here, I end here. So therefore, it's going to be 360. See? I start here, I end here. That's one cycle. Because my graph keeps on going. No, it's not always. Because I start here, I end here, right? So the length is 360. So my period, in this case, is... Nope. I'm going to show you why in a second. Okay, I'm going to give you a question. Ready. Draw this out, and you can tell me amplitude, period, midline, and all this stuff. Good luck. Where do we use this? By the way, if you're into engineering, this sort of thing is used on a daily basis. My middle line is here. I will later. My middle line, this is going to be -2. My sine graph is right here. Actually, no. I'm sorry. My sine graph doesn't start there. Make it more challenging for you guys. My sine graph starts here. -2, 0, -4. This here is 50. I'm starting 50 now. This here is going to be 250. Guys and gals, I want you to tell me everything I need to know. First of all, you're going to label these red pieces. Oh, Amrit. You're going to label these red pieces, number 1. Number 2, you're going to tell me my... 2, I want to know my amplitude. 3, what's my midline? 4, what's my period? Hi. Amplitude is going to be negative? Can't be negative. Guys, I'm going to pause it. And guys, so let's start. Hard jaws. Let's label this first. What is this going to be? How do you know it's 150? It goes up by 50? Correct. But here's a way of finding a middle point, because there will be questions where you will not be able to figure out by looking at it. If I want to find the middle of anything, I add this plus this. Divide by 2. Let's say you on exam, you got 10 on exam, your friend has 20 on exam. What's your guys' average? You add the two numbers up, and you divide by 2. You need to know this formula, which is 150 is correct. I can do the same to here. I want you to practice using the formula, because on exams and numbers, you can't think in head. You have to use a formula. Use a formula to get this one. So go 150 plus 250. If I want to find the middle of anything, I just add the two numbers up and divide by 2. To find, that gives you 200. Because there will be numbers, I'm telling you, that you cannot tell by looking at it. Sorry? Yep. Whatever it is, whatever number you want to find in the middle, you do the exact same thing. So this here is 100. That's easy. Here comes the fun part. Inder, amplitude. Ooh, no. Not 0. Mario, amplitude. 2 is correct. Because amplitude, let's go back to my definition. Amplitude, the distance, the key word here is distance, from the midline to the highest or lowest point. This is my middle line, agree? That's my middle line. Amplitude is from here to here. What is the distance from -2 to 0? The distance is just 2.
What if the graph doesn't go up that way?
Ah, I'm going to show you that. That's the next question. Go to your question.
So what if the top one is higher or lower than the bottom one? What if they're uneven?
It's going to be, that's a good question. I'll give you one next one, don't worry. That will explain that. Okay? But it's always symmetrical. Because the reason of having this middle line is to make it top and bottom is always the same. There's no difference. You can't have it where this is 6 and this is 2. It's going to be impossible. So guys, gals, the distance is 2. Middle line. Kanisha, what's your middle line, Kanisha? Sorry? 200 is not correct. 250? Not correct. Try again. See, middle line means, what is this line right here? Where does it occur? It occurs right here, Kanisha, which is -2. See, middle line is, where does the middle line occur on the y, which is -2. Period, a bit more challenging. Leinard, what is it going to be? Sorry? 250? Nope. Jason, what is it? Nope. Anesh? 200? Tia? 200 is correct. See, period means how long it takes to go from start to finish. You're starting at 50. You end at 250. The distance, I'm going to highlight the period. Period is from here to here only. So this distance is 200. Question? You saw the trick. See, period is, you take your end point, so let's write this down. Period equals to end point minus starting point. That will give you the distance. A bit more challenging, guys, because I've been giving you so many clues and hints. Now I'm going to take away some more lines, and you're going to figure out this all on your own. I want you... No, I'm going to give you... we're working backwards this time. Here is what I want. I want you to draw it from all the information I'm going to give you. Good luck with this one. Your period... Sorry?
Is it always the same type of...
Yep, it's going to be always the same type. Your period is going to be... question.
Does the graph ever go into the negative side of the
It will. It will. That's for later. You have to learn the basics first. Okay?
With that, you're going to have to use the number of and the...
Yep. I'm going to show you how to do that later. Question.
About midline, like, why is it again like
The middle line is the horizontal line that chops the graph into half, a horizontal line. So it occurs at -2. That's called midline. So guys, gals, your period is going to be 310. Just some random number. Not too easy anymore. I'm going to tell you this. The highest point on your graph is going to be, let's see, what should I choose? Kala, give me a random number. Highest point is 5. Amplitude is going to be, Karamji, give me a number for amplitude. 4. Your amplitude is 4. You are going to start. Okay, your starting point on the axis. Starting point is going to be, again, Taryn, give me a random number. 15. All these are random numbers. Your task is to come up with a proper graph and label the x-axis. See how I label the x-axis? You got to have a starting point, ending point, and the middle pieces. Guys and gals, get together with your row. You won't be able to send this on the internet, so I'm going to come around and check your questions. This is going to be your supernova question for today. Good luck. Get together with your team. I will come around and I will verify this. So unfortunately you can't send this to me online, so that is your question for today, supernova. Good luck. Kraken. First of all, let's draw a little grid. Okay. First of all, I know I'm starting at 15. So put a dot here, we'll call this 15. Draw your sine graph. Up, down, and up. Yeah, it's kind of, but you know, we'll use it. We'll pretend symmetrical. Then I ask you for the ending. First thing I look at is your ending correct. Your ending is not 310. That's the first mistake I know some of you made. Your ending should be 325. That's the first thing I look at. Second thing I look at. A lot of you say, Mr. No, this one is 5, which is correct. This is 1, is correct. But here's where most second of you went wrong. A lot of you put -4 here. That's not -4. -3. Because the distance is 4. So this is -3. So now that eliminates a lot of groups. Next thing. I said I want these numbers. You always label these numbers. So a lot of you said, hey, this is easy, miss. So this is 170. This is 92.5. One group got these mixed up, so you have to be careful about this. And the other one, I believe, is 247. See, this is the reason why I said sometimes you can't tell by looking at it. You have to use the formula. Guys, gals, 3 groups. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you guys got your 85. That's where you went wrong. And your guys were so close, but you didn't run out of time. You screwed up on this one. That's where you guys screwed up on. That's why I was looking at this. I need to look at it carefully. So guys, that is the basics of how you work with this stuff. I'm going to give you a random question to practice tomorrow. I'm going to work with some more on how to work with this stuff.